You're delivering a speech and you have a sudden rush of confidence. Do you know why that is? That is because you are properly prepared. Today I will be introducing the topic of outlining and why it is effective. You've all taken an English class or some sort of writing class, right? Now, if you tried outlining in that class, I bet you your grades would do even better. You know why? Because you have structure. Outlining gives you proper structure. Using what you learn in speech with outlines can help with assignments and even in your professional life. In our book, Communication Principles for a Lifetime, published in 2009, there's even a section on outlining. And now, I've actually tried outlining on one of my English papers, and I got an A. My professor was impressed because I had fluid structure and my thought process wasn't all jumbled. Everything was in a nice, coherent manner. I will talk about why outlining is overall useful, then I will explain how I will be using outlining in my professional field. I will now explain why outlining is useful. Now, outlining can be useful for school. It can be useful for a presentation, say in a psychology class, or in a paper, say in your English class, if you have a research paper. And now, in her article, The Importance of Outlining, featured on the classical writing website published September 5th, 2009, Lene Jacqua states that generating an outline before working is not just a good idea, it is essential. Most of the thinking that goes into an essay should be done by the time the outline is written, so that when you actually sit down and write your essay from the outline, your writing is not a matter of formulating ideas in your mind, but merely a matter of presenting those ideas in a coherent and persuasive manner. So basically what she's going to say is that say you have a research paper and you did your outline already, well, now that you've done your outline, you have to put it in a coherent manner so that what you wrote in your outline would make sense on paper. And then you're done. It's easy as that. Outlining gives structure and fluidity through for your thought process. And in turn, you'll have a better grade and you'll feel happier, you'll feel more confident about your work. Next, I'll explain how I will be using outlining to help me in my own professional field. I've taken an interest in public speaking and motivational speaking, and sometimes that's something I'd actually like to do in my life. And so, outlining is something that would help me tremendously. According to Deanna Selnow in her book Confident Public Speaking, published in April 7th, 2004, she states, outlining arranges ideas so that listeners can follow. Failing to do so increases the chance of rambling as you speak. Even if you don't ramble, listeners may think you are if they cannot see a logical order to the information you provide. So this goes to say, when I'm preparing a speech or giving a speech and I don't use an outline or I don't have some sort of format, there's a possibility that I'll start rambling or I'll lose track of what I'm doing, and that wouldn't make my speech effective. That would lose my listeners, and maybe the information I want to give to my listeners isn't properly processed. And now, why I will be using outlining in another part of my professional field, which is psychology. I like psychology. And in psychology, research papers, writing books sometimes can be essential, and outlining can give me format and make it a lot easier for me to do that. This is why outlining is very effective, and it's a critical skill for me. In conclusion, you have learned the advantages of using outlining, say for your English class or for your professional job, whether you have to write a paper or give a speech or present an idea to your company. Give it a chance. Give outlining a chance. See how you do. Try it on your paper, try it on your next presentation, and see what happens. It has a lot of useful reasons. It gives you structure and it gives your thought process fluidity. Now, I challenge you, the audience, to try outlining at least once on one of your assignments, and now see if you do any better. See if you get an A. See if you're more confident in your work.